Dean Ambrose is officially gone from WWE, and he's moving on in his career and life. But now the question is, what exactly will Dean Ambrose be doing in the coming months? So today I will count down the 5 Dean Ambrose shocking plans after leaving WWE. During Dean's time in WWE, he became increasingly frustrated with Vince McMahon and the writers because he did not like the direction his character was going in, and he did not like having to recite dialogue that somebody else wrote. But if Dean does join AEW, we can expect Dean to reinvent his character, and the lunatic fringe gimmick will be no more. One of the rumors currently circulating is that Dean wants complete control of his character and be able to write his own dialogue and storylines. And Dean will not have a phony made-up character. Instead, he will just be himself and won't worry about creating a gimmick, and he will try to make people forget about the lunatic fringe character. The next time that fans see Dean Ambrose, they may not recognize him, because he will most likely change his current look. We already saw Dean ditch his shaggy hair and stubble to a short haircut and fuller beard. And when we see Dean Ambrose again, he might change his look by growing his hair out even longer than it ever was in WWE, or shave his beard completely, or possibly grow his beard out so it's as long as Braun Strowman's beard. Dean might also color his hair, much like he did before joining WWE full-time. Dean Ambrose and Renee Young are both 33 years old, and Dean knows that the clock is ticking when it comes to having kids. But Dean has held off having kids with Renee because of his hectic WWE road schedule, and he did not want to be an absentee dad because his dad was never there for him, and he wants to make sure that when him and Renee have kids, that he is able to see them every day. Because if he would have stayed with WWE and had kids and wrestled a full-time schedule, he would only be able to see them a few times a month. And that's just not good enough for Dean, because he wants to be a full-time dad. And with a light road schedule that AEW would allow, Dean might just be ready to have kids now. The only question is, what would happen to Renee Young's commentating job when she becomes pregnant with Dean's baby? Dean Ambrose and The Shield did an interview with the WWE website recently, and at the end of the interview, Dean Ambrose made a verbal dig at Vince McMahon, and he also might have made a reference to AEW's upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view. In the interview, Dean said, 8 years ago, I walked into this casino, and now I'm cashing in my chips, and I'm walking away from the table. I won the game, and what I do with the rest of my life, here on out, is my business, and I answer to no one. This time, the $1 Million Man did not get what he wanted, cause I can't be bought. It's clear that Dean was making gambling references because of AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view, which takes place May 25th, 2019, in Las Vegas, which is the gambling capital of the USA. And Dean also lives in Las Vegas as well. Dean is good friends with many of the wrestlers in AEW, including Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho. Even though Dean Ambrose will be expensive to sign, AEW needs a big name because they will have a weekly 2-hour primetime show on a major cable TV network starting this October. If Dean does sign with AEW, it's very likely that Dean will become the AEW World Champion at some point. In 2015, Dean Ambrose starred in the direct-to-video movie 12 Rounds 3, Lockdown, and there are rumors currently circulating that Dean wants to do more acting in movies and TV. After starring in 12 Rounds 3, Dean wanted to do more acting, but he could not get time off from WWE, unless the movie that he was in was produced by WWE. And Dean wanted to do more dramas and wacky comedies, but WWE only offered him action films to act in, so he turned those movies down. And now that Dean has all of the time he needs to further his acting career, we could see Dean in an upcoming movie or TV show.